The Zungeru power plant was conceived about 30 years ago to help address Nigeria's power crisis, but years of frequent change in government and administrative deficiencies have made it difficult for the project to be completed. In 2013, government made another spirited attempt to build the project with 75% of the funds to be sourced as loan from China and with a contractual mandate to the contractors to ensure that the project transmits additional 700 megawatts to the national grid. On Tuesday, Senate reached a decision asking the Bureau of Public Enterprises and the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission to reverse the concession of the power plant. The Senate arrived at the decision after it received and carefully considered the reports of its Committee on Power, chaired by Senator Gabriel Suswan. In his presentation, Suswan said from what his committee had gathered, the Zungeru power plant will not be able to evacuate the required power.
So, in essence, what you are concessioning is a plant that you will not be able to evacuate power. And from what I've seen, because I asked ICRC to give me an update, I've just received it while I was sitting here. And I've seen that the concession that has been given, supportedly given, has shortchanged the federal government. Because if I'm taking a plant that I cannot evacuate power from it, of course I'm not going to pay any serious amount. And that is what has happened here.
His position was supported by other lawmakers, beginning with Senator Matthew Roide.
All other agents that respond for concessioning, they should have to be brought to book and told that proper things has to be done. And that proper thing has to be done is that that project should be completed with the transmission. We want a 2 kV transmission put in place for the evacuation of that power. Otherwise, this one will just be another white telephone project.
In his own contribution, Senator Sani Musa wondered why the BPE and by extension the federal government rushed to conclude the concession, even as a number of issues including the settlement of over 44 displaced communities and the naming of the power plants were yet to be resolved.
Zungeru should be allowed to be completed, commissioned and tested. And then the concessioning processes should be very, very transparent.
At the end of an extensive deliberation that saw the extension of plenary for over 1 hour, Senate accordingly resolved that BPE and ICRC should rescind the decision of the Zungeru power plant forthwith. It also agreed to intimate the National Privatization Council about its decision, asking BPE and ICRC to apply the brakes until the project is done. This mandate has not been met, and Senate is at a loss as to why the national asset should be given away for peanuts even before it is completed, and against its advice. Omo Bazwai, Arise News.